It's 8:04, just dealing with, I don't know if there's an Amazon cloud issue or what, but dealing with a little bit of a technical issue. So here we are. We're doing the things. We're back. Hopefully, you're having a great start to the day. All it means at the moment is that you're just not going to have your ticker at the bottom of the screen. Oh, well. All right. I was trying to get it back. Anyway, good morning to you. I hope you're having a great start. It is Tuesday. It has been a busy day here in the weather department. We are tracking all the things. We have got our local forecast, of course, with a few showers. Definitely not like it was yesterday, for sure. We are also watching the latest on Invest 95. There's a look at it on the satellite presentation. And I got to tell you, Invest 95 looking healthy, looking really healthy. I suspect, and I had even mentioned it this morning, this is probably already a depression. And the Hurricane Center in their 8 o'clock update even saying a depression more than likely is forming and will be, will they mentioned they more than likely will initiate advisories on this as early as later today. I expect that. It's got that look. So anyway, 90% chance of development over the next 2 days' time and next 7 days' time. It's going to form. Next name on the list, by the way, is Jerry. So probably going to see that be the case. How strong does it get? Here's a look at the intensity models on this. Because it's an invest, we can run those intensity models. And you see category 1, category 2, that's where most of them settle in. JK, not Karen. Karen would be the next one. Jerry's the next one. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Yeah, J. So most of the models bring this up to a hurricane intensity. Some bring it up beyond that, category 3, category 4. So can't rule that out. But I think for the most part, it's just growing. Whatever it ends up doing is whatever it ends up doing. Now, here's a look at the models in terms of timing and in terms of position. So we'll just run them. And I want you to notice this is 4:30, 5 o'clock on Thursday. It's getting awful close to the Caribbean islands through the early morning Friday. So late Thursday, early Friday, whatever this becomes, is going to be close to the Caribbean islands. Most of the models keep it just outside of the Caribbean islands, but it's something we'll have to watch, right? It's something that very well may be at least worth tracking. So many of us have friends and family down from the Virgin Islands to Puerto Rico. So I'm mentioning this because I just want them to be aware of it. That way there's no surprises here, okay? We call ourselves first warning weather, and there's a reason for that. We want to make sure to give you a warning. So, not hype, it just is what it is. Afterward, though, super glad to see the trends. That recurvature signal is strong. So, for right now, here's kind of what we're thinking with Invest 95. All right. It's days away from any land. Thursday into Friday would be its closest pass, right? Um, the models continue to show it recurving and staying out to sea. But if it does follow that, it probably will end up generating big wave action to the eastern seaboard. So it's something that we're going to be tracking. But the good news is it is nothing terribly concerning for Central Florida. Okay, so that's where that is. There's the other area there near the Yucatan Peninsula and the extreme southern Gulf, right around the Bay of Campeche, right in that area. Should not be a factor whatsoever. There is one other piece of the weather puzzle here, okay? Let's talk about basically this weekend, all right? So, cold front is moving our direction Wednesday, Thursday. You know what? Let's just do this. Let's bring this one up. Give me a second. I'm going to explain it, but this low is just far too big. Hold on. Make you like you. Okay. All right. So, basically, here we go. So, cold front approaching us. So, tomorrow we'll have a few showers, but we're not looking wildly wet. Then into Thursday, we start to watch this cold front get close enough. And in the same area of low pressure that was bringing us the rain the last couple of days, it moved down to Cuba. It starts lifting back to the north, and it's going to take a ride along this cold front. So, what ends up happening is Thursday into Friday, the two of them meet up. And what we end up doing is just turning very wet. But afterward, watch that low pressure Saturday into Sunday lifting and pulling away. And as it does so, it dries us out. I mean, our weekend forecast, especially Sunday into Monday, looking unbelievable. Lower humidity, drier air. Now, that storm system there, frankly, could end up being um, kind of a hybrid system that our friends in the Carolinas have to deal with. But for us, well, let's just talk about temperatures. First off, here's Saturday's low temperatures, upper 60s, including parts of the metro, right? Then for Sunday morning, look at Sunday morning's temperatures. Okay, I'm just saying. Look at that. 68 in Orlando, 66 in DeLand, 64 degrees in the Villages, 64 degrees in Ocala. So nice. Yeah. Mickey says, seeing some chatter, this may be a hybrid system kind of resembling a nor'easter. Yeah, well, it absolutely does resemble a nor'easter because it's attached to a front. You know, does it gain some tropical characteristics? It's possible, but as it pulls up, I mean, that's the kind of a storm system that typically helps us out in terms of cooling things down, but brings some nasty weather to folks north of us. So let's look at our 7-day forecast here, okay? And make no joke, this is the first taste of fall we have had. Look how pretty that is, okay? So for today, it's a 40% coverage of rainfall, a little drier tomorrow, rising those rain chances Thursday, Friday, even Saturday, a few showers lingering, but late Saturday, Sunday, Monday, look at that. Monday, I didn't even put in a rain chance. Oh man, that's unbelievable. Highs in the 80s, mid 80s, morning lows in the upper 60s. Now, let's talk about that for a second, okay? With that temperature of 68 degrees on Saturday morning, that will be the lowest so far this season in 2025. Of course, winter we had colder temperatures. I'm talking about like August 1st on. Lowest this season has been 71. And what's so interesting is when you think about it, the average first temperature in the 60s is September 5th. We are more than a month after that. And what's even more is last year we got our first temperature in the 60s in August. So we are way, way behind where we should be. Like a month and a half, 2 months way later than last year, but a month later than what is typical, right? So it's interesting. It's all. It's interesting. Weather. So I think the East Coast may be the recycle area for next year. Well, hold on. We're just starting to establish the new pattern. We don't need to be discussing yet who the recycle area is. I'm more focused on our weekend forecast, right? Lower 80s, mostly sunny skies. Yeah, there'll be a few showers, but this is just so nice. Good night. Like, you know, Taylor, the teenager stole my phone I had sitting on the console. Ignore her. Oh, was somebody commenting? I've been looking at other things. I haven't been looking at the comments. Debbie says sweater weather. I don't know that I would go so far as to say it's sweater weather. I mean, if you wake up in the morning to temperatures in the 60s, it may be worth sweaters, but it's just, I'll say it's comfortable. I mean, if you're the kind of person that's like sensitive to the cool, then sure, perhaps it is indeed sweater weather. But for most of us, I would more suspect it's just this is so nice. That would be my idea of it, right? 60s, so nice. Coastal forecast, Jessica. Of course, I got you. All right, coastal forecast, obviously headlined by rough surf and rip currents. That's going to continue for us, unfortunately. Um, Eventually, if Jerry does develop, if Invest 95 does become Jerry, we're just going to reiterate this. But our beaches are just taking a beating, and that's not going to change for a little while. It's going to stay rough. So it is what it is. Cole says, if the weather's going to be that comfy this weekend, then I'll hit up the Harris Chain of Lakes and go fish. Oh, dude, this is fishing weather. Without a doubt. Fishing weather. This is beautiful for almost everything. Mike's asking if we're taking a field trip this morning. We are. As a matter of fact, I need to go get the cart that I put my laptop down on. I need to go get the cart ready. So let's take a walk this way here. Tanya. Yeah. For those that are struggling with temperatures, then yes. All right, that's done. Let's see here. So glad you do what you do and have some friends in Scotland. I wish I had you doing this for them. They had Amy last weekend. Well, I appreciate you being here. I'm hearing don't break out the sweaters just yet. No, just don't slam us down today. My focus has to be on doing the TV thing. If I put the laptop down and it's not smooth enough for you, I'm terribly sorry. So needy. Keep the flip-flop socks in the drawer. Big white things on the other side of the green screen lights for when you guys are doing special shots. Yeah. When there's like it's like the promo department or the commercial folks. That's what they've got going. Yeah. I wish the weather would be in the 60s here in Cancun. I love sweater weather. I mean, be gentle with us. I love sweater weather too. I just like the change. Whatever the change is, I like the change. 7 a.m. This is the 8 a.m. show. All right. I'm looking at the rundown here. We're just worried about your laptop. So I'm not going to name the Apple person, but when I bought this laptop and I said, do I need to get a case for it? You know, because I was really just asking what case I should get. She's like, you have Apple Care Plus. She's like, you don't need a case. Monday looks, what is it? Monday looks like a Mooney day. Well, I work Monday, but moreover, the airplane's out of annual. Although I think I'm getting it looked. Every year the airplane needs an annual inspection, so I think we're doing that either this afternoon or tomorrow. One of these days, I'm getting that taken care of. So yeah. Not a Mooney day until we get the annual inspection. It is not airworthy until we get the annual inspection done. Eric's got the hands of a weatherman, not a surgeon. Yeah, exactly right. Tony says, you look great. How much have you lost? I'm down 250. Dude, 250. I lost 150. Good for you, man. That's wild. I tried watching you on Facebook and Wesh 2 at the same time, but it was to the Today Show. We're on CW18 right now. So if you want to, actually, you can see it up top. The one is CW and then the one is the NBC show. So yeah. Tell Alex to get busy on it. I know, right? Have you already had the plane for a year? No, we got it in December, but it's still due for its annual when it was done. So yeah. Have you gone live in the plane before? I have not. All right. Do they wear gloves for the annual? No, they do not. All right, let me go do this weather hit. Stand by. Okay. Is that gentle enough for you? Is that gentle enough for you? Don't want it to be too rough.
Emergency managers in both Volusia and Lake County say they're ready to respond should the flooding get worse.
And we are starting to see a break in that rain, and people are starting to feel that fall fluency with cooler temperatures coming.
Yeah, we're checking right now. The first one of you all just scared for us. What is that? Is that 68?
Yeah. You can rub your eyes. You can drink the coffee. It's not going to change until the next model run. Then it might change. But listen, for right now, that's what we're looking at for Saturday morning. And to put this into perspective, okay, the lowest we've gotten thus far this season is 71 in Orlando. The average first morning with temperatures in the 60s is early September. Heck, last year, the first time we did it was in August. So we are way behind. We deserve this, right? 68 degrees our Saturday morning low temperature. I know it's Tuesday, but it's never too early to look ahead, right? 60s and 70s Saturday morning. Look at Sunday morning. 68 in Orlando, 66 in Leesburg, 64 in Ocala and the Villages, and Monday morning looks to be about the same. So we've got some really, really great weather coming in by this weekend. A couple of showers Saturday, rain chance really tapers on Sunday, and Monday is as dry as a bone. Now, that said, next couple of days we go through some showers, and actually for Thursday, Friday, that rain chance goes up. And here's why. Because there will be a cold front pushing through, but a storm system in the vicinity. So that brings us the rain Thursday, Friday. Then by Saturday, Sunday, that storm system lifts north away from us, helping to drag in dry air. But while it's doing that, it impacts coastal Carolina. It's almost a hybrid, like a subtropical system. Has the look of a nor'easter, if you will. It's going to be something interesting to watch. Probably going to be dealing with some rough conditions for the Carolinas, but we'll be sitting pretty here in Central Florida this weekend. Outside this morning, a live look over to Spaceship Earth, and it is beautiful there. Temperatures in the 70s. Our first warning live radar is tracking some showers coming in here. That's Ponce Inlet. There's New Smyrna Beach. So in that area around the shores, that comes in, crosses over Dunlawton in the Port Orange area, and eventually works out toward the Leon Springs. More showers here around Lake Washington from about 192 north to the Peneda Causeway in Brevard County. But all in, it's more sunshine today. So our temperatures will be able to climb just a little bit more. Mid to upper 80s, depending on where you are. A nice breeze, 10, 15, 20 miles an hour. And Futurecast essentially keeping with showers around, moving from east to west. Today, 40% coverage of rainfall. For tomorrow, it's a little bit drier at a 30% coverage. Then as that cold front approaches us this weekend, those rain chances start to climb back to about a 50% coverage of rainfall. And then look at that weekend. Holy cannoli, that is looking beautiful. All right, it's 8:20. Time for a traffic check. Megan Mackey, good morning.
Good morning, Eric. Busy start on the roads right now. There's two separate crashes I'm monitoring. One along
All right.
408 in Orlando,
What were
and
we
one in
talking about? Let me
Toledo.
scroll and see these comments here.
Whole road here. This is a line going back
I've gained a
down.
pound just thinking about a donut. Eric, you're a putz. Of course I'm a putz. We're going to look at the raw computer models here in a couple seconds for the tropics as well. I almost to work need the good word on those. Oh, Andy asking about the invest. Yeah, so there's the one invest, invest 95. The model data for right now is looking good for us. It looks like it wants to stay away from us. I would also add that today, Jeremy Nelson and I are doing a tracking the tropics, so you'll be able to at least check that out there. But let's come through here and let's just look at the data together. There's Invest 95 north of the Caribbean islands. Okay, that's Friday morning north of the Caribbean. There's that area of low pressure developing off of our east coast at the same time. And look at how it's just right ashore in North Carolina. And it's almost the same kind of Fujiwara type deal there, right? I'll go to the basin view. We'll go to the wide view just for illustration purposes here. And then Jerry would move out. This, how interesting. It just kind of sits there. What a weird hurricane season this is. There's a heck of a cold front there. And then an area of low pressure developing in the Turks and Caicos. What a weird hurricane season this is. All right, let's re-rack it. Let's look over at the European model. There's Jerry developing. Something in the North Atlantic near the Azores developing. Something east of us, that's that coastal low. That's as far as the Euro 60 runs. Let's go to the 0Z. Oh, interesting. The 0Z. Okay, let's look. The 0Z brings it up toward the Carolinas, stalls it, and then brings it like right back to like Tybee Island in Georgia there. Something in the Gulf, something out east of, a couple things east of us. Euro showing a little more activity than the GFS was. So, interesting. You gotta love it. No big threats. That's, I see some stuff. What I don't see is any big threats, which is very, very important, right? Hardest part of annual is getting the plane to turn its head and Jeez Louise. No, on a Mooney, the hardest part of the annual is to get all the inspection panels out. Are you going to wear your Christmas Mooney sweater this year? Yeah, absolutely. Everyone gets a Fujiwara in October, right? Yeah, you get a Fujiwara and you get a Fujiwara. Jana says, definitely a weird hurricane season. No hurricane in Florida is good. No hurricanes at all is great news. Maybe we all need a Christmas Mooney sweater for the Speedway gifting event. Maybe that's what I wear. Maybe I mean, they let us dress goofily. Maybe for Share Your Christmas, I'll wear my Mooney sweater. I don't even know where that thing is. It's got to be somewhere. What is genuinely the weather like in November in Orlando? Coming over from Scotland. Weather in November in Central Florida is outstanding. Hold on. I have it in the old graphics package. I haven't built it in the new one yet. So The bosses are watching. Don't judge. Here's the November weather pattern. Average high temperature at the beginning of the month is 81. Average high temperature at the end of the month is 76. 50s and 60s for morning lows. Yeah. November is our driest month typically. Now let me get off of that graphics package before anybody yells at me, including the graphics guy. Yeah. Becca's asking, any chance for a cold front around the 25th? I believe we were looking at that. Mickey's asking for a Futurecast for today. You know the problem with Futurecast today? There's just showers. You know what I mean? Like there's just showers around here. Coastal rains going more widespread here. 10:30, 11 o'clock. Through 1 o'clock, widespread showers. 2, 3 o'clock, widespread showers. Yeah. Plenty of showers around. So that's the idea today. Plenty of showers around. Cole says, new graphics better than old graphics. You know, when the old graphics came out, they were great too. It's just, you know, we do the things. But I agree with you. The new graphics are way better than the old graphics. I just haven't built. We had so many things, and it just takes time. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm from DeLeon Springs. Love that you mentioned us. I've loved my time in DeLeon Springs. Growing up in Central Florida, we'd go there often in the weekends. You've got it just last year. You should know where it's at. Yeah, I just haven't built it in the new graphics package yet. You know, the new graphics just pop. They really do. They really do. Sounds nice for food and wine on Sunday. Is it already food and wine? Man. Christopher says, Eric, thanks for keeping us all informed. Total pro. Appreciate you taking care of the UCF community last weekend. Dude, it was my pleasure. Thank you. I would love to do that often, all the time, every game. But no, I was honored to be the official meteorologist of the UCF game the other day. Okay, we've got a today hit. So let's go do that together. Stand by.
Good morning, I'm Lindsay Salon. One of the people arrested alongside plead guilty, and today we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Come on.
They're scheduled for plea negotiation conferences. Yesterday, Carol Cote pleaded.
I know you guys are just looking at me. I'm just getting this set up, so don't judge me. Okay, there we go. Hold on, people. Tavares Tower Cam. Okay. I forgot to set something up, so that's why I had to, yeah.
There's a crash there.
I'm taking this to the end.
At Red Bug Lake Road. So expect those delays for that morning drive. Eric, how's our forecast for today?
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much. Here's a live look over to Tavares. The sun is shining bright out over Lake Dora. First warning live radar showing a few showers off the shoreline, but generally speaking, it's much drier than yesterday. 40% coverage of rain today. Rain chances going up late week, and then this weekend looking perfect. All right. The old graphics were good. The new graphics are a step above. I would agree. The old graphics were fine, but it was time for a new pop, and that's exactly what we got. Nicole says, just got in the car, leave the house this morning, bring the chitlin to school. A heavy downpour in Edgewater. Oh, yeah, coastal Volusia. That's what we've been tracking, right? Got to scoot. Oh, man. All right, Diane, be good. Oh, we judge. I know you especially judge. You're like Judgy McJudgerson over there. Here's the live radar. You were talking about the rains that we were tracking, right? Give it a second. There it is. All right. So you can see those coastal showers here. I'll put it on a loop just to give you an idea. Those showers are sneaking on in. So from time to time, it just is what it is. All right. Let me put this top D. There's that. Put that there. Carry the one. All right. We're ready for the next TV. Mickey, don't know if you care, but did you see that they upgraded the tornado that happened earlier this year in North Dakota to an EF5? Yes. It was the first one in like decades. All right. Another Today Show hit. Walk with me. No, this is the CW hit. This is not Today's Show. And then we can get back to chatting. Bear with me.
Plus, help is on the way for drivers in one of Melbourne's busiest corridors. The changes at a major road aim to ease traffic and also improve safety.
And new movement in the Middle East, talks resume between Israel and Hamas as we mark 2 years since the war started.
Graphics aren't nothing without characters. Andy.
Good Tuesday morning, we're waking up a little drier today, thankfully. I'm Lindsay Sublime.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alan Campbell. As Eric is pointing out there, look, you can see the sun out there
What?
this morning.
Get a right action going.
Oh, man, like we are the Sunshine State again. It is beautiful. Good morning to you. Starting off with the sun. This is a look over into Barry's on our tower cam. A few high, thin clouds on the horizon. That said, though, there are showers showing up, just not into Barry's, at least not at the moment. Give it some time, we'll probably get there. But notice around Melbourne, 192 north, and then through Brevard's North County into Volusia County, showers working through into DeLand, to Leon Springs, back over toward Ponce Inlet, Oak Hill, Edgewater. And we've seen over the last half hour, 45 minutes, a gradual uptick in the activity. So I suspect that that continues. Temperatures out the door, 70s and 80s, looks good, feels good. We're on our way to the mid and even upper 80s in some spots. But instead of an 80% coverage of rain like yesterday, today a 40% coverage of seeing passing showers. So let's do this. Let's time it out with Futurecast and track the tropics. May have a depression today. Central Florida's certified most accurate forecast in minutes. Now at 8:31, it's time for a traffic check. And roads are getting rough out there, Megan.
Yeah, there's a crash in the Leo Sabre 17 northbound.
All right. What are we talking about? The green screen amazes me. How do you know where to point and then present it? Seems natural. Well, I've done this for like 20 something years. So there's that. The other thing is it is what it is. You kind of figure it out. Debbie says, Eric, we love your tie. So Meredith McDonough got me this tie like 17 years ago, 15 years ago, which is kind of funny when you think about it. Probably not like the most stylish, because it's not the new whatever the new is, but when have I ever been the most stylish? So anyway, Jeannie Rowan, see, I'll be honest with you. While the new graphics are very nice, I would not have noticed if he had not said. But that, I agree with you. But that's also kind of the point. The point is to take and evolve. So if you notice, and I'll just show you, right? So like, this is here. Let's look at it closely, okay? Because you're absolutely right. If we look at the 7-day, so this is the old morning 7-day forecast, okay? And that's clean, right? 40, 30, 50, that's clean. There's nothing wrong with that. You notice top left, it's the blue, the text on the white banner. All we tried to do with this new graphics package was evolve it. And so it's not supposed to be dramatically different. It's supposed to be just a subtle step forward. Our brand and our identity is this. So all we're doing is we don't want to remake the Coca-Cola logo. We just want to maybe flatten it instead of a Gaussian blur, whatever it is, it's the subtleties. The devil's in the details. And this was a complete rebuild. It does not look completely different, but it was a complete rebuild on the back end, right? To get the motion to look the more contemporary way. But we don't want you to notice a complete shock to the system, because we want you to still know, oh, that's Wesh, right? That's the whole point of it. So no, I don't take offense to that at all. As a matter of fact, it's complimentary, you ask me. So yeah. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Anything at all? No? Yes? Maybe? Listen, we're going to have you covered today at 10 a.m. with Tracking the Tropics. Jeremy Nelson and I will be here live tracking it for you. Lewis says, print on percentages are smaller, needed my glasses. There's certain tweaks that some are good, some are maybe perceived differently. It's just a matter of readjusting things. So yeah. All right, people, 10 a.m., Tracking the Tropics Tuesdays. All right, Jeremy Nelson and I will be right here tracking the invest, the potential developing tropical system. We got you covered, all right? Does that sound good? It looks way better. Yeah. Is Jerry the next name? Jerry is indeed the next name. So there you go. It'll be interesting. Do you think it's possible for us to get through October without a storm locally? Hopefully. Without a storm being named? No. I think we're going to have a storm named the next couple of days. So, all right. That's all I got for you for right now. Listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you right here in an hour and a half for Tracking the Tropics Tuesday with Jeremy Nelson from WJCL. In the meantime,